What's up, everybody? Eric at SOLOBOX out in the shop today admiring my new motorcycle. This little Himalayan 450. You know, I would have never bought one of these, but my guy at the local shop talked me into a test ride, and what a brilliant little motorcycle. You know, I've been saying for years, give me 40 horsepower. Give me a 6-speed transmission. Give me moderately good brakes. Give me decent suspension. Give me decent lighting. I'll be happy. Well, there you go. This is the sweet spot defined. This is the best adventure motorcycle I've ever owned. And you say to yourself, yeah, but Eric, didn't you own an 1150 GSA exactly like the one Ewan McGregor rode around the world? Yep, that I did. And this is a better motorcycle because this does exactly what I needed to do and nothing more. Like the 1150 was like really tall and top heavy, tons of suspension, but you don't need it. Actually, one thing that's kind of interesting about this motorcycle, when you look at it, it looks like it's really low and long, or at least it does to me. The reality is this bike actually has more ground clearance than a Gen 2 KLR, which blows my mind because I would swear that it has less, but it actually has more. The wheelbase is about an inch longer, maybe just a hair less than an inch longer too. So it is kind of a little bit longer bike, but either way, this is the best adventure motorcycle I've ever had. And I absolutely love it. And the thing is, like, I was aware of them. They've been out for over a year. I knew about them. I just didn't think it would be something that would suit me. The brand, for one, Royal Enfield, just never really struck a chord with me. Like, it just always kind of found it, I don't want to piss anybody off, but kind of dopey. Like, I mean, I know they've been building motorcycles. They build the most motorcycles of anybody in the world, and they've been doing it longer than everybody else, too. But, I don't know. There's just something about Royal Enfield that I just couldn't get into it. You know, this bike's predecessor, the little 411. I test rode one actually when those first came out. I think that was 2016. I went down to a different dealership that used to be local. It's since closed, and I took one and I jumped straight on the freeway with it. Rode it one exit. And then took surface streets back to the shop, dropped it off, got back on my KLR and left. Didn't get it at all. And now how much I really like this, I'm starting to look back into that bike. I think I may have misread that bike. I would really like to get my hands on one and spend some time riding one. And I think I just didn't get it and I didn't give it enough chance. I felt like it was way underpowered. I saw right away, I was like, man, this is never going to do it on the freeway. It just didn't have enough ponies. Loved the look of it. I like stuff that's very utilitarian looking. You know, give me a Jeep, like, yeah, stoked. Give me an adventure motorcycle that looks like this. Yeah, I like it a lot. You must mouse the Oldenburgs. I love these little things. I just put them on here actually yesterday and did my first ride out. I did a bunch of miles off-road on this bike yesterday. This bike is so good off-road. It's good on-road. 40 horsepower is the sweet spot. This bike is like the sweet spot defined. And the thing is, like, you can tell when you ride one of these that they want to sell a whole bunch of motorcycles. And I guarantee if they keep pushing out stuff like this, they're going to sell a whole bunch of motorcycles. You can tell that they actually care. As an example, look at this exhaust. This exhaust is exactly where you would want it to be. It's completely out of the way. It's almost like an engineer said to himself, you know what? Maybe somebody will want to put panniers on this someday. And they designed that. Like, look how thin this is. These are my wide cases on cheap Amazon frames. Look how tight that is to the bike. And it's all able to be done because of this exhaust. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Suzuki. I'm looking at you, Honda, Kawasaki, KTM, everybody else. Like, this is brilliant. You can tell some thought went into it. Matter of fact, I actually saw the engineer that worked on this exhaust can be found on YouTube talking about part of the design process for this bike. Like, when was the last time you saw an engineer from Honda? Like, I always wonder, who the hell comes up with this shit from Honda or Kawasaki or Suzuki? You'll never see any of their engineers, but I've seen at least 2 and possibly 3 engineers that worked on this bike directly. And you can tell, like, a lot of effort went into this. And like, in every regard, they just hit the sweet spot. And that's what's ultimately going to sell motorcycles. You know, I had a CRF Rally. That's the biggest motorcycle mistake I've ever made in my life. If that bike had 40 horsepower and even remotely decent suspension, I would still own it, but it doesn't. And I'll tell you why. It's because Honda just simply does not care. Either they don't care, or they just completely misunderstand the demographic and just don't understand what it is guys want. These engineers actually asked, and guys told them, here's what we want. And guess what they built? One fine motorcycle. How do I feel about the fit and finish? Probably my only real complaint with this so far is they put a lot of Loctite on it, and so some of the fasteners have been difficult to break free. And then when I go to thread them back in, it doesn't feel quite right. Almost like, oh man, am I stripping that? I hope I'm not stripping that. And I haven't stripped anything as a result. And I understand why they put a whole bunch of Loctite on stuff. They don't want shit falling off of the motorcycle. And honestly, I don't either. But that would be one little nitpicky thing I could say about it. I've seen people kind of complaining maybe a little bit about the switchgear. Like this little, like the TFT display is absolutely brilliant. People have complained a little bit about this. But once, and actually I didn't understand how this controller worked that at first. And once I understood the menuing and exactly how it worked, I've had no trouble with it. All kinds of useful information, like, you know, things like real-time fuel economy, you know, how much fuel I've got. Kawasaki, KLR, like, come on. Like, I can't even tell how much gas I've got in the tank without opening the cap and looking, right? This has a whole bunch of useful information, you know, the temp of the engine, the water. It's really, really well done. Good lighting. The brakes, this is actually a subsidiary of Brembo. The brakes are really good. The stock tires, like, I bought this motorcycle. I went home and ordered new tires for it, like, straight away. Before I had even ridden the bike, the stock tires were even brilliant. Like, everything about it, like, it's just so well done, you know? I bought it with the taller screen. I didn't like the little tiny screen. It's still yet to ride one with the shorter screen. Just by looking at it, I thought, you know, I'm going to hate that. So I ordered a wider screen, which actually it just got returned today. I like this screen better. There were several things about this motorcycle that I thought they didn't necessarily get right that it's turned out they absolutely nailed. And like literally everything they've just nailed. And so I've been wrong about a few things. I see people complaining about the tilt angle of the kickstand. And it is a little bit much. But I tell you what, like when I park my 701, it's just the opposite. The 701 always wants to fall over because it's too long. I would take too short before I took too long any day. So I see people complaining about it. It wouldn't be all bad to put like a 1-inch puck underneath of this, and it's probably something I will eventually do. But you know, just to take a little bit of the lean out of it. Weight-wise, yeah, it's a little bit portly, but it needs to be if you're going to ride it on the freeway. I believe that, like, in all regards, they really just hit the sweet spot. They understand the demographic and the people that are going to be interested in buying a motorcycle like this, and they nailed the sweet spot in a lot of regards. One thing where they really screwed this bike up, and I've only seen a few other people complaining about it, is the angle of the seat. It is pitched so far down. It's like forcing you forward on the bike. And so, of course, like your riding gear and stuff, like riding up on you on your legs and stuff, that angle is all bad. And it's funny because I only rode this one exit and turned around and went back and said, yeah, I'm going to buy one of these. But even on that short of a test ride, I could tell straight away that angle's bad and something's going to need to be done. And I actually have already come up with a repair for it. I'm changing that angle with, I've built some spacers for underneath it here that control how the seat attaches at the front of the tank. This is actually probably going to become a new product at some point because it makes it ride so much flatter. It's 1,000,000% better. And actually the seat has two different positions too. That's the high position. And I have long legs, so I prefer the taller position. But there is a lower position if you're vertically challenged. They really went out of their way to design this bike so that it's still low to the ground. It's still accessible by somebody with shorter legs, but it's still rideable comfortably with longer legs. I thought that the seat peg relationship was going to be way too short for me. It's one of the things that KLR has always had right. Kawasaki got right about the KLR is, you know, my legs are really stretched out and it's comfortable, but this is actually, at a glance, I thought it would be uncomfortable, but it's actually not. It's actually, once again, the sweet spot. It's right where it needs to be. Like to stand up off of the pegs, like on a KLR, the pegs are way too far forward. If you try to stand on a KLR, it's really cramped. The triangle position of this bike is absolutely brilliant. Like the bars come with, I've already flipped mine around to move them forward. And with just a little tiny set of spacers, standing on this bike is absolutely comfortable off-road. It's absolutely awesome. They just killed it on this bike. Kind of running out of juice on more things to say about it. Other than that, yeah, I'm very, very happy with this. I've enjoyed the process of putting some stuff on it. I put the handguards on it. I put the risers on it. I put the Odenbergs on it. Put new tires on it, which actually, you know, I didn't get to ride the stock ones in mud, but on dry pavement and dry gravel, they were brilliant. Like literally dry gravel, they might have been the best tire I've ever ridden with. These are a little bit, these are the Tusk Waypoints, which I love because they're cheap, but those things over there, the stock tires, which I only rode 300 miles, actually on gravel were really damn good. I'm going to guess that those would not be good in mud, that these would actually be better. But once again, you know, sweet spot. They just killed it. Even the tires that look like absolute garbage are not garbage. They're actually pretty darn good. So I just love how they designed the back of this bike so that you can keep it nice and narrow. Usually on a smaller displacement bike, that's why I designed the slim boxes, is for stuff where it's got to be sticking like way out in the air or whatever. This looks good, even with the standard 9-inch wide cases. So anyway, as you can see, I've got boxes in stock, ready to rock. Hit me up if you need panniers for your new adventure motorcycle. Eric SOLOBOX. I'll talk to y'all later.